safely discount democracy as a reason for affecting regime change in Venezuela. We're not going to go kill Nicolas Maduro because we don't like the way he's treating his people.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely correct. You have to be at the kids' table in order to believe the horseshit that America is going there to give democracy. The real reason America is going there is because it's an empire. It has geopolitical ambitions. You can't do business with a socialist government. And so there is pressure from American corporations to get that government to become more reasonable. I mean, think about it in this way, right? If you actually have money, let's say you're a billionaire and you want to invest, would you be mentally retarded to invest in Venezuela knowing that the government can just seize your assets? Like, you actually can start there an oil extraction company and Maduro just goes, yeah, it's ours now, right? So, like, the U.S. government doesn't like that. It doesn't like that a nation like that, it's in its sphere of influence. And more importantly, they can go like, okay, if we have a favorable regime in the Middle East, and we have a favorable regime in Venezuela, and we already control what we have in the US, we can probably decide on 50% of the international oil trade, and then we can set prices, we can set how much oil is being extracted or not. This is the grown-ups table. Literally how they think, right? Like, who are our rivals? Well, our rivals are Russia and China. Like, there needs to be a world hegemon. That world hegemon, we decided, is going to be us. And in order to maintain this position, we have to control the world supply of oil. And we have to do that because we can. Right? Now, this is the actual talking point. This is the sane adult talking point. Tucker Carlson wants you to go away from the kids' table, where the conversation is we need to spread democracy, and bring you to another kids' table where the conversation is America is invading Venezuela because it wants gay marriage. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is what people that are subscribed to Tucker now actually believe. You go into the comment section, you scroll down, and you see these mentally deficient people that are now in need of our help, that they're in need of our wisdom and guidance to be brought back to sanity. Listen to the rest of it.
It's possible we're mad that he doesn't allow gay marriage. That is a distinct possibility, but no one will say that out loud.
Yeah, no one is that mentally deficient, Tucker. Like, I don't think there is a single politician in the United States is like, God damn it, you know what's the problem with Maduro? He doesn't allow people to do the bootfuk. The bootfuk, god damn it, we need to invade. We need to send the tanks. We need to start allowing the bootfuking. It's like, right? And not to mention, like, if this was the problem, hypothetically speaking, right? Like, if genuinely America wanted bootfuk in Venezuela and Maduro knew, and he was like, okay, they're not actually after my oil, they don't want democracy, they just want bootfuk, otherwise they bring in the tanks, you know what? Fucking allow gay marriage then, right? Like, if you're Maduro, and you have, like, any type of sense in your head that's like this fucking empire of a nation, like, they want gay marriage in your country or else they'll invade. What type of human being with two neurons to rub together would say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't want my regime to fall down. Yeah, I'll just allow gay marriage. Fuck it, you know, just have it. I mean, we're talking about a person that's willing to oppress its people, starve his nation, do all of this nasty shit. But like, no, he draws a line at gay marriage. It's like, no one is even suggesting that this is about gay marriage. Like, if that was the case, you would at least hear Maduro basically going out and saying, yeah, all the Americans, like, they're pressuring us really, really hard on gay marriage. If we don't allow Juan and Pablo to ass fuck, Donald Trump is going to send in the helicopters. Fucking insane. I don't know if Tucker believes it either. Like, look at his face. You know, like he's trying not to laugh here. He's literally trying not to laugh. He found a bunch of gullible people on the internet, and he's like the piper, just stringing them along. Look, you can still be against whether or not the United States should kidnap Maduro or should invade Venezuela. Like, those are legitimate talking points. But the idea that there was like this grand arching conspiracy theory that involves generals, politicians, hundreds of people, if not thousands, and it spans for decades since Maduro was nominated as a security threat to America by the Obama administration. And all of this, right, is because Venezuela doesn't allow the butfuk. Well, Tucker, here's something interesting. Do you know who else doesn't allow the butfuk? Qatar. Qatar doesn't allow the butfuk. Why isn't America invading them? Saudi Arabia doesn't allow the butfuk. Why isn't America invading the Saudis? But this is like modern 2026 politics, right? You say something that kind of feels true. I mean, America promotes wokeness and global homo, and you know that people are against that. And so let's manipulate people and get them to believe batshit insane things, such as the reason that America wants to go into Venezuela is not because of oil, but it's because of the sacred art of butfuking. And I suppose, if you're mentally deficient and you're zooming in, it's plausible. It's plausible. Why did Donald Trump then defund USAID? Like, USAID was the hallmark of America spreading butfuking throughout the world, right? I mean, there was a lot of grift to be made there, a lot of cash to be made by teaching Africans how to butfuk. You would basically have activists and NGOs and a lot of people grifting off of the taxpayer money. And so if America is desperate enough in order to send the tanks to Venezuela to achieve the objective of getting Venezuelans to butfuk, why did it cut the money from USAID, which would have got people to butfuk without tanks? See, this is interesting. Like when you get to sit in front of a camera and you get to speak unchallenged, and you have like people that react to you based on an emotional level rather than use their brain and do a little bit of critical thinking and be like, okay, well, if America does this here, then it should have done it consistently in other places, right? Like if America loves butfuking so much, why aren't they pressuring the Saudis and the Qatarians and the Arabian Emirates and all of these other places to have it? I'm legitimately curious to know who's paying Tucker Carlson. But unironically, at this point, yes, I want to know, because I don't think he's just making money from Twitter and Super Chats. Does he even have Super Chats? I don't think he has Super Chats. How is he making money? Huh? Who's paying him? I'm not saying that it's illegal. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be paid. What I'm saying is that people should know. It would be interesting. Like, I would definitely want to know who's paying Tucker Carlson.
Not defending the regime, just saying. One of the most conservative countries in North or South or Central America. Only El Salvador really comes close, which is much smaller, of course. And by the way, the U.S.-backed opposition leader who would take Maduro's place if he were taken out is, of course, pretty eager to get gay marriage in Venezuela.
And here you have like another thing that he says, just flat out lying, right? But he says it with such certainty, and it sounds plausible, that the opposition leader would take over Venezuela, right? And he looks at you dead in the eye, and he will tell you this as it's a matter of fact, a certainty. Well, we now have the benefit of being in the future. We actually know that Donald Trump said, no, she's not going to take jack shit. We're going to run Venezuela. Now, I don't know if Trump will manage to do it or not, but they're basically not interested in putting this lady that supports gay marriage in charge of Venezuela. Is Tucker going to apologize? Is he going to say, wow, I'm surprised by that? Is he going to make another video and say, well, I mean, no, he's not. That's fascinating, isn't it? But like when you're watching it and you're generally believing and you're primed to believe this, well, you're probably bobbing your head and you're going, yeah, no, that sounds legit. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is what the U.S. wants to do. They want to get gay marriage into Venezuela. One of the most conservative nations in the hemisphere. And this is another thing, right? What exactly is this conservative thing doing for the nation? Like, I look at how people vote with their feet, right? Is this a place where people want to go to? No, apparently it's the opposite, right? So, like, if you're promoting conservatism and you want to say, well, conservatism is the way of life, and you're saying, well, this nation is conservative, and yet you see people fleeing the fuck away from it, that's not really good PR, is it? It's not really good optics. Like, it doesn't do much. It's the exact same shit that Bernie Sanders did when he was like, well, socialism is this very amazing ideology. It's this perfect purity of mankind. Look at Venezuela. Look at what they're doing. And then people look at it, and it's a fucking horror show. And now Tucker Carlson is basically saying, well, yeah, I mean, Venezuela is banning vices. They don't have pornography. They don't have the butfuk. They don't have any of these things. It's a conservative nation socially, and people look at it and they see a fucking horror show. That right? Like, am I missing something here? Am I not understanding something?
So to those of you who thought this whole project was globo homo, not crazy actually.
Why are we trying to install this woman? It makes no sense.
Well, because
they're not trying to install this woman, right? But like now you have like two adults. They're looking concerned. They're telling you they're trying to install this woman.
she'll bring gay marriage to Venezuela, and that's important. I mean, that's what we stand for. We can safely discount democracy as a
So all in all, like, they're not half truths, right? Like, yes, America isn't going to Venezuela because they hate the fact that the nation isn't democratic. Although again, I could point out that because the regime is unhinged and they can seize the assets of American oil companies that set up shop there, that would be part of the reason. You can have a conversation whether America should or shouldn't. That can also be part of the reason. But to suggest that the reason that America is going there is still gay marriage, when you notice that, especially during the Trump administration, so many woke policies and so many affirmative actions and promotions of LGBT culture has been slashed, and that America is actually doing business with many nations around the world that also don't have gay marriage, and to just say this with certainty and then speculate that, it's going to place this woman that is in favor of gay marriage, and this is what America's goal is, it's just misleading the audience. And it can happen. Like, look, it can happen that you can mislead the audience, like, that's fine. But why isn't he making videos now talking about it and saying that he is wrong? Saying, like, you know what, I guess like, Trump did actually a good thing. I was wrong. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to double down. And people in his subscribers are going to attack me for pointing it out. And also, this is why I have nothing but disgust, disdain, and contempt for moral busybodies. The type of people that have ideas not for themselves, but they have idea for other people. Like when it comes to Tucker Carlson, he's got a lot of ideas for you. Very few ideas for him. This is the problem. He had another video where he basically says how Venezuela bans gay marriage, bans abortions, they ban pornography. Now, he doesn't like the Maduro regime. He would never hire him as an economist. But he is actually interested over the fact that they're socially conservative. Do you know what I'm showing right now on the screen? I'm showing Venezuela's fertility rates. Right? So, like, they're banning all the vices. They're doing everything that Tucker is saying would create the great society. And yet, look at their birth rates. Why is it... Can we get an explanation from Tucker on how this miracle happens? Now, what's interesting is that Tucker doesn't want to live in Venezuela. And this is when I have the disdain and the contempt for the moral busybodies. It's like, okay, you have ideas. Well, why don't you go live in Venezuela then, right? Like, it's a nation where you can surround yourself by moral, decent people. Because, like, fuck the economy, right? The economy doesn't matter. Are you saying that the dollar is more important than morality? Like, that would be an immoral thing to say, right? Why? And not even, like, have to live there. But, like, why doesn't he go on vacation there? Why doesn't he travel to benefit, from this rich Venezuelan culture that's against vices and other things? No, he's not going to do that, right? Instead, he's basically going to say, like, that's really great for you Venezuelans, right? Like, that's how you run a country. I don't want to be there because the economy is shit. Fuck the economy, but at least you guys have the moral axis done correctly. And this is like, what exactly does it mean? Like, as long as a nation bans gay marriage and abortion and all of that, it can have, like, the most brutal regime. It can steal from the people. It can do, like, all the atrocities it wants. But, like, at least it bans vices? Okay, so the Soviet Union was actually great. Because, like, the Soviet Union also, just like any other socialist nation, just like any other communist nation, it banned vices, right? And so it's, like, morally superior to the United States, which in the same era didn't ban the vices. Soviets, they banned rock and roll music. They banned all of the Western degeneracy. And yes, they banned pornography. If you're a homosexual, they would lock you up. A lot of, how effective this was? Like, when you have a person that's causing problems for the government, you can just lock them up by accusing them of being a homosexual. Like, how can they prove they wouldn't, right? They can't. And so, really great weapon that the government has. But yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck happened to Tucker Carlson. People are saying that he got money from Qatar or some shit. I don't know. But this is pretty much the type of content he is putting. Like, there was another video where he was praising Islam. And it's like, what the fuck? You know? Like, that's not the Tucker Carlson from Fox News. And so you have to ask the question. It's like, yeah, who's holding the purse? And if you find out who's holding the purse, then you find out why he is saying these things. And I'm not insinuating anything. Like, I legitimately want to know. Like, if it turns out that, well, he's actually paid by the advertisers on X, and he is paid by donations from his fans, I would be, okay, fine. No, that's legit. Maybe this is what Tucker Carlson thinks. I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling that, you know, the donations are on the up and up. Like, he's getting money from legitimate sources. But he is getting money from sources that have interests on Tucker saying certain talking points that otherwise no sane critical person would reach the conclusion to. Like, I have yet to meet a single person that would say, yeah, I mean, Venezuela, it's fucking great. Why? It bans gay marriage. But the Americans, you know? Like, we're going to have the same left-wing conspiracy now on the right. You know, the left is saying that the reason you don't have socialist nations is because the CIA cracks down on it. Now we're going to hear that there are no nations that can have a ban on gay marriage because the CIA does regime change. And by the way, my nation doesn't have gay marriage, okay? Like, I just want to put this out. My nation doesn't have gay marriage. Should I be worried that America is going to send the tanks in? Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.